Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nabilah Jawari from Group 5, and together with my friends Hanani, Syafiqah, Fatin, Syafiq and Akmal, we will be presenting on the HIRARC for Strata survey work. Okay, so the first work activity that we have discussed on will be establishing control station. This is a sub-activity from resurveying the boundary lot, which will be the first activity before proceeding to the next procedure. So the hazard that we found is improper station location. This is one of the hazards discussed, where station location could be located near a busy main road or near hilly areas. Station located near the busy main road could propose hazard to the surveyor or observer, as the traffic could not see them and might knock them over on the road, while near hilly areas could propose the risk of them slipping for inadequate working space. Both of these hazards could affect both the worker and instrument breakage. The worker could face permanent or fatal injury, as they had a chance of either being knocked over by the road users or slipping from the hill. The hazard could also potentially bring risk to the instrument, as they may have been hit by the traffic together with the observer. This could have brought loss to the company, as surveying instruments cost hundreds and thousands of ringgit to possess. So the next part is the risk analysis, which consists of existing risk control and risk assessment. It is advisable for surveyor or observer to be equipped with a personal protective equipment, which for this type of work, the brightly colored safety vest with reflectors and a hard hat would be sufficient. Other type of PPE would be proper shoes to conduct the work safely. Redirecting the traffic could also work so that we may be able to give the traffickers a heads up on what they are about to face on the road. So the likelihood of this hazard is 4, which is quite high, because there have been occurrences of the accident which makes the hazard not unusual. The severity of this hazard is also 4, as this could bring injury, whether it is permanent or even worse, death. So according to the risk assessment formula, the risk score would be 16, which is considered high. This means that another risk control action must be taken in order to reduce the risk of the hazard. So one of the recommended control measures for this hazard would be substitution, which is relocating the station location to a safer and less hazardous area, such as pedestrian walkway, which is only a few distance away from the road. So instead of abandoning the work, we could come up with another plan of locating the station, ensuring both safety and effectiveness of the work. So that is all from me. Now I will be passing the torch to my friend Hanani to explain on the second hazardous work activity that we have discussed on.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. I am Sani. Okay, we will continue on the previous slide. For the second work activity is setting out the equipment during the survey lot. For setting out equipment, hazard example is falling object, which can cause broken instrument. So there are many equipment in the Strata survey work, like tripod, to the station, prism and many more. Bila kita set up alat tidak mengikut cara yang betul, akan mengakibatkan alat jatuh dan rosak. Contohnya, masa set up alat, pekerja tidak pijak kaki tripod semasa pasang alat to the station, dan ia akan mengakibatkan alat tidak stabil dan berkemungkinan jatuh. For the risk control of this hazard is administrative control worker can change the way their work performance. Renting of livelihood is free cost can be predicted. For the renting of severity of hazard is 4, because can make property damage. For renting, risk assessment is 12, which is medium. Recommend control measure is establish safe work procedure, use equipment. So for the next hazard of setting out equipment is hot weather. This hazard can affect to Dehydrate or heat stroke. Hot weather can cause workers to lose a large amount of water from their body. For the risk control is nil. For the renting likelihood is 3, cause can be predicted. For the renting severity of hazard is 1, cause it is first aid type injury. The renting of risk assessment is 3. A risk defined as low cost risk can be resolved quickly. For the command control measure is provide drinking facility. So, a worker can stay hydrated, drink before start work, and drink water every 15 or 20 minutes during work. For another recommended is worker can slow down and work work ever pace. Workers should know their limit and ability to work safely in hot weather. So that's all from me. For the third work activity, I will pass it to my friend, our group mate.
Thank you. Next, I, Muhamad Syafiq, will talk about the activity that is survey work or horizontal control work during ongoing construction. Maybe some of the survey work may occur or happen during construction of building before the building has been finished. So daripada apa yang kita tahu, construction site adalah tempat yang bahaya dan memang berisiko untuk berlaku apa-apa kecederaan. Next, the hazard is sharp objects such as iron rod, nail, sharp plank and others. The sharp objects may be scattered around the site, either on the ground or they can fall from upstairs. Berisiko untuk mendapat kecederaan jika kita ada kontak dengan barang-barang yang bahaya ini, which can cause cuts or first aid type injury. So cuts may occur by unsafely have wrong contact with these sharp objects. Sambil kita tak perasan berjalan ataupun benda-benda ni jatuh daripada atas. Next is existing risk control. There is an administrative control safe work procedure. Example, CIDB, dia ada tujuan to control the construction work to be safe, sama ada keselamatan untuk pekerja ataupun keselamatan awam. So berdasarkan menyertai ini, ada prosedur kerja yang telah dilatih kepada pekerja yang telah ada lesen CIDB. Likelihood dia adalah 4, iaitu possible, has a good chance of occurring, but it's not usual. Dia boleh berlaku, tapi tak selalu, tapi berlaku juga. The severity is 1, that is have effect minor obstructions, bruises, cuts, first aid type injury. So the risk is 4, that is low, but can happen to workers. Recommended countermeasures: PPE, wear safety helmet, safety gloves, and safety shoes. From this PPE, kita boleh ensure that workers such as surveyor or architect can be safe from this type of danger. Okay, thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Fatin Nur Syahira. Taking building measurement at each floor is one of the activity in Strata title survey that involve the altitude or height of the building. As we know, there are many risks that will happen when involved the altitude. Other significant hazards associated with working at height include falling objects and the potential for a working platform to collapse or overturn, as well as contact with overhead electrical services. When fall from height, account for the largest percentage of unusual for annual fatalities in the workplace can result in fatalities, neck of spinal injury leading to permanent disabling or paralysis and multiple fracture. For falling objects can also cause severe injuries that has result in death, brain damage, paralysis, or multiple fractures too.
type of control this hazard is elimination control, which is getting rid of a hazardous job, tool, process, machine or substance is perhaps the best way of protecting workers. For example, safety harnesses, debris netting, and fault arrest system. Likelihood level is rating 4 is possible, has a good chance at occurring, and it is not unusual. For severity of hazard is catastrophic at rating 5. Numerous fatalities, irrecoverable property damage, and productivity. Risk assessment was show at high risk that require immediate action to control the hazard as detailed in the hierarchy of control. Action taken must be documented or the risk assessment form including data for completion. Recommended control measure must require head protection to prevent any object that fall from above. Even it is not fully protect the whole body, but at least it can reduce the serious injury to your head. Either the building is on construction or building is already done, all the surveyor must follow the SOP of OSHA. This is very important to protect all the surveyors and also public people. Our safety is our life.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Syafiqah. So for the next work activity in the Strata survey, which is taking the building dimension. Taking the measurement in the building of each area, for example, stair, ceiling height, structural, beams and columns, wall thickness internally and externally, have the hazard, which is the contaminants such as dust in the building area. Contaminants can be considered as anything that ends up on a floor. Contaminants can be wet, such as water, oil or grease, or dry, such as dust, metal shavings, plastic bags, or offcuts. The contaminants can cause slips, trips, and falls. There are various factors that contribute to the risk of slips and trips. Slips usually occur when there is a loss of a grip between the shoes and the floor. This commonly occurs when there is a contaminant between the shoes and the floor. Trips occur when a person's foot hit a low obstacle in the person parts, causing a loss of balance. Often, the obstacle is not easily visible or noticed. So, the existing risk control is an isolation, which is limit access to high-risk area. For example, if the area has a lot of dust on the floor can cause slippery or falls, we should avoid to the area. Risk analysis in likelihood rating is 3 or conceivable. It might be occur at some times in future, while for the severity ratings is 1 or negligible. It can cause minor abrasion, brushes, cuts, and first aid types injury. For the recommended control measures, which is wear suitable footwear. It includes in the risk control of personal protective equipment or PPE. Footwear should be suitable for the type of work and work environment. and comfortable with an adequate, not slip sole and appropriate treat pattern. Lastly, check regularly to ensure treats are not worn away or clogged with contaminants. See the table for the PIC have done by Syafiqah on 26 April 2020 and the status is complete. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Akmal Ahmad. I will be explaining the 6th point of the HIRARC table under Strata work scope. So the activity is building inspection. For hazard identification, the work activity is building inspection. The hazard is animal bite or insect stings. For the hazard, it could happen to in this activity an animal bites from dog or by any insect stings. So the cause or effect toward a person is the hazard could cause a person from suffering puncture wounds, laceration, pain swelling and redness. Seperti contoh, hazard ini mampu boleh menyebabkan seseorang untuk mengalami luka daripada gigitan anjing, tolihan atau kesal bengkak daripada sengatan serangga berbahaya seperti lebah, tebuan atau labah-labah. For the risk analysis, the existing risk control or kawalan yang sedia ada iaitu menyediakan first aid kit where the hazard can be avoided by preparing a first aid kit since the likelihood from the event to happen is quite low, which is at 3. The severity from the hazard is 1, which can be treated quite easily. Seperti maksud kesan daripada hazard itu boleh dirawat dengan secepat mungkin dan boleh dirawat lebih cepat baik. Dalam kata lain, kebarangkalian untuk berlakunya perkara ini adalah rendah dan hasilnya juga tidak begitu membahayakan. For the risk analysis, the likelihood is 3 and the severity is 1. So that makes the risk is 3. So yang terakhir ialah mengenal pasti perkara yang mampu menghalang daripada kejadian ini berlaku, iaitu risk control. Pencegahan yang dicadangkan ialah atau recommended control measure yang digalakkan adalah memakai pakaian lengan panjang ataupun wear long sleeve untuk mengelakkan daripada terkena sengatan serangga, dan juga memakai pakaian yang sesuai untuk mengelak daripada kesan gigitan anjing menyebabkan puncture wounds kepada seseorang. So the last one is PIC person in charge. It is Akmal and the due date is 25th April 2020. Itu saja dari saya. Sekian, terima kasih.